Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at Grotmas Day 13. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Grotmas Calendar Day 13. Santa's Larger, Angrier Helpers. Today we're bringing the family together for Grotmas with two detachments, the Armored Warhost for the Asuryani and the Reaper's Wager for the Drukhari. We are bringing Harlequins alongside for a grisly ride. Let's just hope they can avoid talking about politics over the dinner table. When unleashing in numbers, the vehicles of the AELDARI can bring a terrifying volume of firepower to bear with exceptional speed. As supersonic aircraft suppress the enemy with strafing runs, sleek battle skimmers sweep low across the war-scattered terrain, hunting down and obliterating their targets with scintillating volleys. Successive waves of armored transports follow, their shields and wraithbone hulls turning aside incoming fire as they sweep low to disgorge waves of aspect warriors and guardian soldiers into the fight. As the infantry move to seize their objectives, agile walkers sprint towards the flanks to overwhelm their foe, their guns spitting vibrant streams of enfilading fire into massed enemies, ensuring none escape the wrath of the asuryani. The skilled crews of the Armored Warhost grant the assault ability to weapons of the AELDARI vehicles, and allow those vehicles to reroll their advance rolls. Taken together, players will be able to field incredibly mobile threats in their games. The theme of the unparalleled maneuverability is carried through into the enhancements and stratagems, with Guileful Strategist letting you redeploy up to 3 vehicles at the start of the game, and Vector's engines permitting vehicles to shoot in a turn in which they fell back. Alright, so let's take a look at the new asuryani detachment. And keep in mind that you're going to keep the army rule, which is the fate dice, which is definitely a really good army rule, but you're going to be giving up the current detachment rule, which is going to let you reroll 1 hit roll and wound roll per activation, which is very good. It also has some really good stratagems, so it's going to be difficult for this one to compete. So the new detachment rule is skilled crews. Ranged weapons equipped by AELDARI vehicle models from your army have the assault ability, and you can reroll advance rolls made for AELDARI vehicle fly units from your army. So not bad. You're definitely going to be quick. You're going to be able to advance and shoot, and then you're going to be able to reroll all your advances with your fly vehicles. And then we have our 4 new enhancements. Guiding Presence, 25 points. AELDARI Psychic model only. At the start of your shooting phase, select one friendly AELDARI vehicle model within 9 inches of the bearer. Until the end of the phase, each time that model makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. So you're going to need to have a psyker that's not inside of a vehicle, and then you're going to grant +1 to hit to a vehicle within 9. It's okay. Harmonization Matrix, 30 points. AELDARI model only. In your command phase, if the bearer or any transport it's embarked within is within range of an objective marker you control, roll a d6. On a 3-up, you gain a command point. Alright, so not bad. Either the character or the transport they're within going to grant you a command point 66% of the time if they're within range of an objective. And then we have Spirit Stone of Raylith, 20 points. AELDARI Psyker model only. While the bearer is within 3 inches of 1 or more friendly AELDARI vehicle units, the bearer has the lone operative ability. In your command phase, you can select one friendly AELDARI vehicle model within 3 inches of the bearer. That model regains up to a d3 lost wounds. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Essentially turns one of your psychers into a tech marine. And last but not least, we have the Guileful Strategist, 15 points. AELDARI model only. If your army includes the bearer, after both players have deployed their armies, select up to 3 AELDARI vehicle units from your army and redeploy them. When doing so, any of those units can be placed into strategic reserves, regardless of how many units are already in strategic reserves. So this is definitely always a cool ability. Being able to redeploy 3 vehicles before the game starts, definitely nice. You essentially have that extra information of knowing where your opponent's vehicles are. Granted, this detachment's all about being really fast with your vehicles though. So you're going to be able to get those angles, get those shots that you want. I think this is more of a defensive enhancement. Now a quick word from today's sponsor, CMO Games. CMO Games carries a full range of Games Workshop products including miniatures, paint, terrain, tools, and more. They take pre-orders for most Games Workshop new releases as early as possible, usually 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. CMO Games offers 15% off of MSRP for most all Games Workshop products and offer fast free shipping to the continental United States on orders over $50. Most orders ship out within 24 hours. You know their customer service is top-notch as they've been selling games online for over 20 years. Use the affiliate link below and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you. Alright, and then we have 6 new stratagems. So first is Layered Wards, 1 command point. Any phase just after a mortal wound is allocated to an AELDARI vehicle unit from your army. Target that AELDARI vehicle unit. Until the end of the phase, models in that unit have a Feel No Pain 5-up against mortal wounds. So a 5-up shrug on any vehicle against mortal wounds in any phase. Not bad. And then Swift Deployment, 1 command point. Your movement phase, 1 AELDARI transport unit from your army. Until the end of the phase, units can disembark from your transport after it has advanced. Units that do so count as having made a normal move that phase and cannot declare a charge in the same turn, but can otherwise act normally. So you're going to be advancing with a lot of your vehicles. This is going to give you the ability to jump out and then shoot, but you're not eligible to charge. Next we have Cloud Strike, 1 command point. Target 1 Eldari vehicle unit from your army that can fly and is in strategic reserves. Effect: until the end of the phase, your unit has a Deep Strike ability. When your unit is set up on the battlefield using the Deep Strike ability, it can be set up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 6 inches horizontally away from all enemy units. But if it does until the end of the turn, it is not eligible to declare a charge. In addition, if your unit is a transport, each unit that disembarks from it this turn must be set up more than 6 inches horizontally away from all enemy units. And until the end of the turn, it's not eligible to declare a charge this turn. Okay, so pretty good. You can pick any one of your Eldari vehicles with fly that's in strategic reserves, and then you can deep strike it instead of coming in from strat reserves. And when you do, you can come in outside of 6 instead of outside of 9. Your models can jump out, but they still have to remain 6 inches away. So definitely good to pop in, get an angle on something important, dish out a bunch of close range firepower. It's got some play. And then we have Soul Sight, 1 command point. When you're shooting phase, target 1 Eldari vehicle unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot this phase. Effect: until the end of the phase, each time your unit is selected to shoot, you can reroll 1 hit roll, 1 wound roll, and 1 damage roll made for the model in your unit. If you're using fast dice rolling, you can select one of those rolls to be the reroll before moving on to the next step of the attack sequence. So 1 command point, you pop this before you shoot, and then you can reroll a hit, a wound, and a damage roll. And it is 1 of each, which is pretty nice. And then we have Vectored Engines, 1 command point. Your movement phase just after an Eldari vehicle unit from your army that can fly falls back. That Eldari vehicle unit, until the end of the phase, your unit is eligible to shoot in a turn in which it fell back. So you'll be able to fall back and shoot with one of your flying vehicles. And then finally we had the Anti-Grav Repulsion, 1 command point. Your opponent's charge phase just after an enemy unit has declared a charge. 1 Eldari vehicle unit from your army that can fly and was selected as a target of the charge move. Target 1 Eldari vehicle unit from your army that can fly and was selected as the target of that charge. Effect: until the end of the phase, subtract 2 from charge rolls made for that enemy unit. So 1 command point, your opponent declares a charge, you can make that charge 2 inches further. So if it's already kind of a long charge, you can guarantee that it doesn't go off. If something's coming in from Deep Strike, for instance, and it would have a 9-inch charge normally, you can make it an 11, almost impossible. So it's got some play. So that is the Armored Warhost. I've got to say it's a little bit lackluster. There's nothing particularly amazing about this. If you want to play a really fast vehicle heavy list, it could definitely be fun. There's a little bit of jank to it. You can pull off some cool maneuvers. You got a tech marine, a way to get command points, fall back and shoot, all of the basic utility stuff that you want. Unfortunately, I think that the Eldari are just too heavily reliant currently on the rerolling a hit and wound per activation. A lot of their weapons are low volume of fire. So you need that Bright Lance to actually score those wounds. And while having the assault ability is nice and you're going to be fast, it's basically just doubling down on what you're already good at. The Eldari are already really fast, so I'd rather have the consistent damage of the standard detachment rather than just being more faster. So let me know what you guys think of the Armored Warhost detachment. I don't really see this having a ton of play, but if you want to play a heavy thematic army with a bunch of grav tanks, it's definitely an option. I'm sure it'll be fun, but I don't think it's going to be particularly competitive. Let me know down in the comments if you're an existing Eldar player or if you think this looks pretty cool and you like to get into the Eldari. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products, and make sure to tell them that Warhammer Man sent you. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.